create a list every year. And this is something that I use. I just use a simple, like a moleskin, just notepad that I write on every single week at least. And I think writing it down physically is, I mean, you can use digital stuff too, but writing it down physically, it's just something about like taking your time, going slower. Like literally takes longer to write a word out than it does to type for most people. And it really helps me make sure that, I think that's the number one thing you can do. Create a list of things that you need to be executing in the month of December mainly. So we meet every day at Peach State Roofing, and we have a daily list of things we want to accomplish. But then as business owners, we want to make sure that we're accomplishing what we're supposed to accomplish that year. And obviously the year's over. So we're recording this on December 19th. It's essentially over. We all know Christmas is happening. All kinds of people are on vacation already. And they go on vacation the week after Christmas. So planning for the next year and looking at, one thing that I've been doing is going through this list and seeing like lead sources. What was the, we all talk about marketing and leads, but I think lead sources is a big thing that I was actually surprised about. We had more referrals this year, and we had a lot more Google LSA than in the past. So local service ads really were effective for us this year. And then, redoubling our efforts for those things, and then making sure the other marketing strategies are still working as well. So create a list. I do recommend physically
check it twice.
Yeah, checking it twice. I love that. Making a list. Yeah, it's I think that's it. I think that's what it is. You should be doing that. And if you're not, I mean, it's just sitting down and not thinking, not letting your phone ring, not getting on your phone, and just going over that list. And I have a list right now that I created a few weeks ago, and it's still not complete. So I think it's a really effective process.
What's on that list for you though? What specifically are you paying attention to getting done by the end of the year? I mean, I guess yours might be a little unique because you're rebranding.
Yeah,
right?
so the rebrand part is definitely adding to it, but like there's okay, so one thing where we filmed with our videographer, Cameron, and we filmed a bunch of videos to update Proline's automation. So like each time a customer gets, like if it's in Athens, they get Cameron's video. If it's in Savannah, they get my video. That's one thing we did. And then we ordered these video boxes. So video boxes, like a 5x7 little cardboard box with a little LCD screen in there. It opens up. We're designing those boxes so that we can send them to our centers of influences, insurance agents, realtors, things like that. In the next year, we have 100 of those. So I still have to work through the whole process. It's not just like buy the boxes and put the video on there. You actually have to design the box to be something that's very unique and then engaging as well. And then you also have to come up with a campaign. So you have to come up with the correct list of your influential people, and then not just in the box, but send the postcards through dope marketing, etc., handwritten notes. That's another thing.
Let's talk about that for a second though. The box. I mean, that's not something that everybody. That's not something you hear regularly about people doing. Is this the first time you've done this? Have you done it before with the boxes?
Yeah. Yes, it is the first time.
Okay, so it's a test.
Yeah, it's a test, but it is something that you can't, it's just like sending postcards. You can't do it one time. You have to have an actual campaign. So the video boxes go first, give that wow factor so that hopefully when the postcards and the handwritten notes come throughout the year, if it's the office manager or the actual influential person, they actually pay attention. Even if they just look at it and then throw it in the trash, they at least have a reminder, top of mind kind of reminder deal. So that's definitely one thing I'm doing unique for 2024. And then also we hired roofing SEO school, DEMA, to do 260 blog posts for our website because we are rebranding, but I'm also coming up with 52 blog topics that we're going to do independently. So one a week. And we're going to use AI to help us write them for time, but we're also going to come up with like most commonly searched things just to redouble our efforts for the branding. Let's see, bunch of just admin stuff, um, business license kind of things. But then also, we had to do a DBA certificate. We're in the process of doing that. Doing business as is
Oh yeah.
annoying
Yeah,
because
you
it's
gotta
a
go
very,
through a whole process. You gotta like put it in the newspaper or something like that.
yeah, it's like weeks to do it. So we're doing that, and then we're using Roof Quote Pro, like Roofle's tool on our
You know,
website.
let's talk on hold on before we move on. I just wanted to touch on that because I see this a lot where a roofing business will change its name, but they don't do a DBA, and so it gets messy. There's a few things that happen. Sometimes they don't do a DBA, and that gets messy and confusing. That's the DBA is important, but also people get confused about what a DBA is. A DBA does not change the name of your business. It just simply for tax reasons and for all kinds of official reasons, it just says this is a name that I'm doing business under. But when you're going to fill out some sort of form and it's asking for your legal business name, that legal business name is your original business name. Even though
Correct.
you have a DBA, your original business name does not change. You can change the original business name, but that's much harder. It's really hard to do to actually change it with the IRS, change it, and it's not really necessary. That's what the DBA is for. It's like, hey, we're going to do business under this name. But I mean, you see all kinds of massive companies. If you actually look at what the official legal business name is, it's something completely different
Completely different.
than the name that they're doing business as, and that's totally fine. But the key, I guess the takeaway here is when you're filling out a form and it says legal business name, just make sure that you're using your original legal business name. Whatever that is, it may be completely different than your regular DBA, but you just do need to use that in order to depending on the source, if it's getting checked, it will get rejected.
Yes, it
So
will.
we see this with
Very good point.
our phone registrations for Proline and our
Mm-hmm.
merchant accounts is people will put in their DBA because they're like, well, I don't want people to see this other name. And it's like people are not going to see it if it says legal business name. That's a private thing, but it does have to get checked. So I just wanted to hit on that while we were
Oh,
there.
I like that. I like that because the
Good thing to
we
understand.
we want to do everything legally, obviously, but Google's the main reason why we're doing this. So they are looking for local service ads. They require a DBA certificate, and so we're going through that process to make sure that our Google ads match up with our name and we're not confusing customers. Because I know it's hurting us right now because we're like our website's changing, a lot of things are changing. We need to have it done by the middle of January because our truck wraps are coming, like yard signs and things like that are going to be happening the second or third week of January, second week of January. So we need to have all that done by then so that the customer does not get confused. Our Proline automations need to all say Peach State Roofing and not Delaurier Roofing. Um, Obviously, Kathleen needs to answer the phone. Peach State Roofing. There's just a lot of things that you have to do when you're rebranding, but like you asked the question about what's on my list. That's a lot of what's on my list. It's obviously taxes. Taxes is a whole nother thing. I'm really excited about our new tax guy, Freddie Hess. He's a really intelligent guy. Started about the same time I started my roofing business, and he's been a controller for a construction company. He's been worked for a large CPA firm, but he understands construction accounting, which a lot of people he posts in a lot of the roofing Facebook groups, but a lot of people don't have that CPA, myself included, that actually understand construction accounting and proper deductions, ways that you can actually reduce your tax burden. It feels like to me that most tax professionals don't really look proactively for ways that construction company owners can actually have deductions. It feels like they're just kind of going through the motions, but it makes so much sense to find somebody who really is proactive about that can give you advice, real advice that and they're very transparent. His whole thing, I know Proline, AJ and I always talk about communication. That's our whole thing. Unleash great communication. This is what this guy's whole thing is. He's like, look, I know, because that's my experience, is that I had a corporate accountant that I would email them, call them, they'd never respond. Email and call and never respond. That sounds like a lot of roofing contractors. So he's like, I know my industry is terrible. 90% of people are like that. So I wanted to make a difference.